welcome to another pen video from me, Penultimate Dave. So I have here a flashback review video, and this is of the Visconti Divina Elegance in brown. I've had this in my collection for about 7 years, and I have to say I still like this pen a lot. I was on a very large Visconti kick back then, and I wanted to get a Divina in every single colour, and I think that's why I don't do I'm not a collectionist. I don't collect every colour in every model of a pen, because I didn't do that in the end with all the Divinas. But I did get this in the red. I really wanted the black. I couldn't get the black, I could, but not for a good price. This came up on eBay 7 years ago, and it was a company called Marte Modena in Italy, a retail company that typically was selling cheaper versions, sort of without packaging or official packaging of pens. I think they were probably pens that were returned, they were repaired, and they were being sold off cheap. So I picked this up for what was a pretty good price back then, compared to what they sell for nowadays. You do have the Visconti My Pen finial there. It is a captive converter here, so you pull out this here, and I haven't got any nails today, so I'm struggling to pull this out. But you essentially, had to do this off of camera, but essentially you pull out this here, and it is a captive converter. This one is quite stiff to pull out, and that was why I couldn't do it with my nails. You have a hook safe lock mechanism here, and you have a 23 cap palladium nib. Now this is a medium nib. It's not the bounciest of nibs, but it is a nice nib. And I can post the cap on it as well. You've got these lovely silver rods twisting round the pen, but you can see here the beauty in this resin. It's got a lot of chatoyance there, and when you rotate that pen, it really does the light just attracts to the pen. You've got the Visconti clip there as well. And like I said, I got this for a good price. It was on eBay. It didn't come with the original box, but I figured that I had, at that point, quite a few Visconti boxes, and I didn't need another Visconti box. Now, yeah, that about 250 pens later, I now have a lot more Visconti boxes. So, yeah, I kind of chuckle to myself, because now I have way too many boxes. But this is a pen that I do like, and I do like to write with from time to time. So I think with that, let's do a comparison with other pens. So from left to right, we have a Benut Euphoria Earl Grey Tea. We have a Mont Blanc Around the World in 80 Days. We have a Marjon Titanium TI 136. We have a Visconti Ecstasy d'Oud, a Visconti Homo Sapiens Bronze Age Oversize. We have a Visconti Divina Elegance in brown, a Parker Duofold Prestige Ruthenium Chisel. We have a Mont Blanc Le Petit Prince Aviator Solitaire Duet. We have a Visconti Homo Sapiens Caput Mundi, and a Visconti Homo Sapiens Corsani 90. So I think let's now go and do a writing sample. So I typically ink this up with a brown ink. I'm going to do a different brown ink this time. So this is the Visconti Divina Elegance in brown, and it's a medium, and it's a 23 cap palladium nib. The ink in here today is Herbin Ambre de Bermanie, and this is an ink that I like a lot. And a friend actually gave me a bottle and said that they don't like the ink, and so I gladly took that bottle, because I should probably show you this here. Let me show you. I decanted what was essentially. Let me get it. This bottle, which is really a poor design, and I put it into an Akamon 60 milliliter bottle here. I've got enough of this ink that it will last me probably a lifetime. But I really like that ink a lot, and I do write with that ink a lot as well. So glad I could pick up another bottle of that ink for free. In terms of line variation, we're definitely getting a medium Western line here. I can push a little bit more and get maybe closer to a broad, but you can see here this nib, when you apply pressure, although it's quite stiff, it really does open up. You can also see there's no hard starts or skips on those vertical lines, so it's actually well tuned. In terms of ink wetness, let's take a look. You can see that this is quite a wet nib, although not quite as wet on the cross strokes. What do I like? What do I not like about this pen? Well, clearly I was on a little bit of a rampage. I won't try and sugarcoat it. It was a rampage for Visconti pens. And I did pick this up, and I picked it up for what was a fairly good price at the time. I added it to my collection. I think it was a little bit later that Marte Modena seemed to shut up shop and weren't around anymore. I think from recollection they got banned on eBay because quite a few people had not received their pens, or received pens but they were damaged or not as described. A lot of people reported them to eBay, and then they were blocked or banned on eBay. And that was kind of, I think, their main market to selling used pens or reconditioned pens. I probably should say that, probably not used. But yeah, so there were a few more pens that I bought from them soon after that, but then shortly after that they disappeared. I'm glad I picked it up when I did. I wanted, I think they had a black Divina in oversize I wanted, which I could never pick up because somebody else would win the auction. I think they had a red one which I wanted, and again I couldn't pick that one up. I probably could have if I had agreed to pay more money, but I didn't want to get into a bidding price war. So I picked this one up. I want to say it was only between me and two other people bidding on this pen, and I won it at the last moment on the auction. So very glad that I did. It's still in my collection. I still like the Visconti Divinas. I'm not really a fan of the captive converter. It is a converter. I'd like to be able to change the converter if I could, but you cannot. So I'm not a great fan of the filling mechanism on this pen, but I like the pen, and for me, I do try to ink that up every now and again. It's not been inked up for a while, so I figured I would do a flashback review of this pen. Maybe I'll add it to a currently inked at some point again in the near future. So there you have it. That's my flashback review of the Visconti Divina Elegance in brown in a medium 23 cat palladium nib. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next pen video. Bye bye.